there's my beautiful self. Hi, everybody. Also, if anyone is noticing a hum in the background, I have my AC on. I can probably turn that off, so if anyone's having particular issue hearing over that, or if it's really annoying, please let me know, and I will fix it. Alright, just getting chat open here too, so I can, be up and all that chatty McChat, or something like that. Alright. Let's write some code. Oh yeah, writing code. Some of you might be aware of my my faith-based tweets as well, so we're free to discuss that as long as that doesn't derail things. So I just want to kind of put that out there as it's valid if you want to talk about that, but just be conscientious about my plans in terms of writing code, and also that not everyone's interested in that conversation. Alright, so today, one thing I've really had mixed feelings on for my website is it just feels like it's a bunch of random crap thrown at you, and I want to make this way better. For instance, my info here on my course can be a separate page. There's no need for that to be smack dab in the middle. The sidebar, I feel like it doesn't do anything, right? It kind of goes away once I get, to mobile view, and even then it looks like I accidentally have two Stack Overflow things in there. I've got a really tiny, description of who I am. I've got some work stuff, or some things that I work on down here as well. So I want to try and make this better, and I want to use old school tech. There used to be a day when we would open up an HTML file and edit that, and done. And even now we've complicated things. We've got local compiles, so you're serving a static page, but you have to bring in so many things to make that work. And I think for personal projects, if I don't need that, I don't want it. And that's actually kind of come at I'm gonna say just hard lessons. So I was thinking, my wife and I, we set up a new podcast. This actually relates back to some of my faith discussions. So again, if you want to talk about that, feel free, but keep in mind I don't want to not do development for that. But anyway, so we made this podcast site, and I did it in a couple of hours, and I didn't use any JavaScript, any magic, anything like that. It was just something that assembled some HTML partials, and that was it. And it builds my RSS feed, it builds my web page, it updates all the stuff, and it's just it's so nice, and it's very refreshing to work on. I do have it up on GitHub, which again, keep in mind, some people aren't as interested in my kind of maybe spiritual journey as much as my code journey, and that's fine. But so basically I've got everything that's in public is just built on the fly. I have an RSS.json as well, which is totally not standard, but I was trying to figure out if I wanted to have some front-end tech, I didn't want to have to parse XML, so I just basically converted it to JSON for that. But to build the data is, let's see how many lines. So 123 lines. I brought in this podcast package, which I've got some mixed feelings on. It seems to do the job, but you still need to put in some work to make sure that you have all the right data. But anyway, so I basically build up the feed, and then I've got some JSON files that just have oh geez, where is this? It's not that this is very big, but JSON about what the podcast is, and this has everything I need to build the main piece of the RSS, and then I just have like episodes, and they just have like the smallest amount of data I need to like make the episode available through an RSS reader. And I've just got some partials like the opening HTML, and then I have like I just do like some simple replaces. I didn't even bring in like any sort of like template engine. It's literally just like read in this as a string, replace this part of the string with like the podcast description, and even with episodes, sort of the same thing. You know, just some replacers that, you know, I can like build up a string for one episode, dump it into the file, and I don't know, it was so much nicer than like even hype wrap. I love hype wrap. I don't really need any extra things with it. Like you could use it in vanilla JavaScript, and that works out of the box. But even then, there's a lot of ceremony and state and things that you need to like push into it. Whereas just having like some old-fashioned, assemble a little bit of HTML is pretty awesome. So I want to do something very similar with this, where pages, like they might have like some sort of like overall like page layout, but then like the content is just like I slam in some HTML. I don't need anything special or magic. I even want to like lay off as much styling as I can. Like I'll certainly bring in Tailwind. I think Tailwind can make some pieces of this just much easier to smash together, but I don't want to bring in something super heavy like Bootstrap or whatever. So that's sort of where I'm going with this. Now I haven't worked on this for a while, so it's going to be probably like kind of a make a new branch and then nuke most of this. Like even here, so I have like a test bed for my HyperApp debug extension, because like to submit that extension I need to like provide a place where it can be tested. And I was like, oh well, no one actually like would ever use this in production, so I like kind of did this intentional build. And then I have like the main page, but this could easily just be like pages. Yeah, and then so I know people would be like, oh, just use like something like Gatsby or something. And even then, like, so if I do is there like an npm size calculator? Okay, so let's just do Gatsby. I think it's just Gatsby directly. I didn't realize this would take more than a couple seconds. I thought it would cache most of this, but okay. Let's wait for this to calculate, I guess. It's still going. Anyway, I mean, if it's taking this long, it's probably a good sign that there's a lot of dependencies going on to build this up, and that's like, I don't know. It's a thing. Ugh. Okay, well, anyway, I want to do away with this and like all of this. What else do we have in here? I mean, I'm probably using Parcel, yeah. So that, I don't need Sass, I don't need Tailwind. Oh, what? Failed to build this package? Okay, well, like, is there like another thing? I don't know, but I guess I can install it locally and just see how big my node modules directory is. But yeah, the big thing is like, I don't know, there's just, we're so complacent in like web development to like build up JavaScript and bring in packages, and like all of that requires like testing, and not that you shouldn't be testing like static things, but those tests are maybe a little nicer to do. So I don't know, that's where I'm at. That's what we're gonna aim for. I do think I will have to do a build for the test bed, and that's mostly because I need to have like a locked-in HyperApp, locked-in HyperApp effects, and whatever. And like that's fine. It's fine if you have to build things, but for the main part of my site, like I don't want to do that. So we'll see. I mean, it might be a little painful for things like this, where there's like certainly like a widget pattern, but you know, we'll see how it goes. All right. So what I'm going to do is, just so we have an idea where we're starting at, I'm just going to load up the local copy of my site, and we'll just see how it is. Oh yeah, it also it does like image optimization, which is good. I do like that. But the one thing I don't like about that is it's a step that like is always doing it. I just want something that like I put the optimized version of the page or of the image in my repo, and it's like problem solved. I don't need it to do that every time I do a build. Okay, so this is very much the same as what's currently on the .com side of things. So let's see. So basically, like, I want my front page to just be like, hey, this is me, picture, description, and then like some navigation of like, oh, you want to see my course? Oh, you want to see things I've done? Oh, you're interested in like people I work with and that have some stuff, or you know, go to some of my social profiles. And like, that's it. I don't need like this whole blurb about my course. I don't need all those pieces. Cool. So let's see what the best way of doing this is going to be. So I'm gonna do a new checkout. So I have Cobb. This is the same as actually, if I bet if I tab complete, it'll no, it won't. But this is the same as get checkout -b. So checkout with a new thing, and we're gonna call this like simplify with pages and less builds. Which, I mean, ultimately sounds like more of a commit message than a branch name, but I don't know. Life's complicated. Alright, so some things I want to do is I want to nuke any of my old, like, cache things, because I don't know what's in them. Oh, what's even in Firebase? We got, like, some cache there. I don't care about that right now. I think I will keep using Firebase for hosting. It does a lovely job. I don't have any reason not to. Let's just see if we have anything weird in here. No, not really. I mean, we do have kind of the SPA redirect, and that's like certainly a thing. So I don't know. We got that. I think we'll be removing that. We have source apps. I don't like this anymore. It's going to be different. So maybe let's start thinking about what sort of things exist in source. So I think instead of apps, I think there's pages. So let's bring that up. And I think there might be some common things. Like, for instance, I have this like same sort of layout between like neat things I've worked on and interesting people I've worked with. So I think we're gonna make a source components. There we go. And so pages, I know I'm gonna have like a couple things that I'm interested in. So there's gonna be an index.html. Know that for sure. There's going to be a hands-on web development with hyperapp.html. Just so it's like something that's searchable too, like the name correlates with the route. I think that's going to be a better time. And what else do we want? I think we want a projects. Let's go with projects. I think that's fine. And we're also going to have maybe friends. Let's go with friends. I mean, these people are people that would I consider friends, and hopefully they would likewise. So let's roll with that. I think these are the main pages. And so actually let's add another thing. So we have pages, and let's add like layouts. So I think in general there's just going to be a single layout, but I don't know that for sure yet. Which, I mean, this does seem like maybe we're pre-optimizing, but let's call it like main.html. Cool. And let's describe what an HTML page is here, right? So English, because that's what I speak. and I would do a very bad job translating it for other humans. Is that so I think I'm getting some mixed info here on my stream, so just give me 1 second to make sure that my things are actually reporting the things that I think they should be. Geez, you know, sometimes when you use these services like Restream, you kind of lose a little bit of the information, which is fine, but yeah, so give me 1 second. Let's go to my tools here. Oh, there we go. Oh, but I also have my voice, so let's get rid of that. Okay, hopefully that's better. We'll see. Yeah, let's roll if that's better for now. Okay, so we got head, body. Let's put a title in here as well, which I think this will be Alex Berry, software developer. I think here I have like professional software developer, but you know, what's a professional? I'm just a software developer. I certainly do it, you know, as a job. So, you know, that sounds okay to me. And let's add some like metadata. I think we can do name is like, what is it? I almost want to say like encoding, but I know that's not the right thing. You know what? I probably have most of this in here. Oh, there we go. Char set. Alright, we'll grab all the good stuff, as I like to call it. You know, get your character set, get your more of that for older browsers, viewport stuff. Tailwind we'll grab from a CDN, I think. And I'm not even going to worry about fonts yet. I guess we'll see. And the become a Patreon thing, like, we'll get there. Because I don't think that's going to be on every page. Cool. So, that's that. And obviously we could do you know, body taken, and just throw whatever you need in there, right? Now we might have some navigation, right? There's going to be maybe a nice navigation thing. If I do that, we might as well bring in Tailwind, right? Now one thing I kind of like about Tailwind, which I can't say about like all component things, is you could just like pull it in from a CDN. You don't need a build step. You don't need to do I guess we can go to the installation thing. It's probably got the link at the bottom. But yeah, you don't need to do extra steps. Now, granted, you don't get any customization, right? You can't go ahead and just like decide I want these colors to map to these hex values or whatever. And that's fine, right? Like, I'm not really after like coloring. I'm more after just like a consistent look and feel, and we'll go from there. So one thing for sure is we know we're gonna have some navigation, right? Like something that allows people to go places in, and we can probably make that a component, just because maybe with different layouts there might be different positioning. Like I might have a blurb about me first and then the navigation, because that kind of goes. There's like certainly established patterns, but let's you know what, let's just make it a separate component, because that'll maybe be a good indicator of like if I want it as a separate component or not. Who knows? These things are difficult. Okay, so we know we have nav, and inside nav, so I believe in Tailwind there's a like such a thing as a container. So the idea that you can kind of have like some boxed in centered content that's by default responsive. There we go. Words are hard. So I think we sort of want that. So let's do a little bit of styling here first. So we know that our navigation is going to be like full width. There's no reason for it not to be. But inside our navigation, we're going to have a, like, I guess we'll use section. I always have a problem with like semantic HTML because it's not always 100% clear its usage, right? Like this is a section in the navigation, but it's actually like the container. Like I guess we could even make this like a main, right? It's the main part of the navigation. And this is going to be container and then MX auto, which will just center it for us, make life nice and easy. And so once we're centered, once we have that, this could also be, I don't know, like flex, row, justify. Let's just say start and items center. So let's make sure they're all like mostly aligned with each other. We'll certainly see, right? And so probably over on the left, we're gonna have a Mr. Berry, which is the website, and that's going to go, of course, to the root path, and we're going to put a class on there. And so this class is going to be mostly something like font bold. That seems like the right sort of thing. And let's do like a yeah, you know what, PY, we're going to say 2. So top and bottom's got a little bit of padding, but it can like hug the left and the right, which I don't know if I like 100% yet, but I might put like some padding here on the X. That might actually make the most sense, like PX2. That way it's just at least like mostly aligned. Cool. And the nice thing about this is we can do something like open source. Oh, I don't have open. Can I do Firefox? Oh, nice. So we're going to say open up source components navigation.html, and bam. So we have it. Obviously, we don't have access to Tailwind from here, but we can kind of get a general sense of what's going on there. So that's an initial good sign, right? And so we know we probably want some other things too, right? So we do have other pages that make a lot of sense. So let's add a spacer. And all this spacer is going to be is sort of like how in navigation, like you typically have like the main page on the left side that's like, oh, return to home, do whatever you need. And on the right side, quite separately, it's kind of like, oh, and here's like the list of pages I have. Now that's not always the case. Sometimes they like, depending, like usually if you have like user auth, it's on the right side. But I'm not gonna, I don't want to focus too much on that, right? So for now, we're just gonna say main page left, everything else on the right, and we know we've got a couple links. So we're gonna kind of reuse this, but we're gonna get rid of our bold. And we're just going to look at the pages we have. So it looks like we have like projects and friends. Now, I don't know what I want to do with the course yet, because it is like, it's a one-off thing. But I think for now we could probably put it on here, but I think it's like the thing at the end. It's not as important. So I'm going to go to projects, we're going to go to friends. And notice I'm doing HTML. These don't have to be like those magic like path URLs that we see all the time. They're HTML pages. We don't need to hide that. So at the end we're going to do hands web development with hyperApp. Those are going to be my main things here. Nice and easy. Alright, so if I refresh this, obviously things aren't, they're not going to be styled the way that we expect. And that's fine, we can fix that. That's actually a pretty easy fix, all things considered. So what we're going to do is we're going to start building this up so it exists in here. Actually, you know what? Let's just make this even easier. So we're just going to inline it for now. It's pretty easy to like separate too, right? So I don't think this will be a big deal. I mean, I've been known to be wrong, right? So we're going to do, I guess this is layouts. Layouts. Main.html. Cool. So we got our body. Got some stuff here. Now these obviously look pretty awful. So let's add some stuff. I'm going to do margin on the left. And let's do, let's start with 2. Let's see how far ML2 gives us. Right, we might go like, oh, we need a little bit more. We'll see. So that's not too bad, but it's really hard to distinguish the hands-on web development versus projects and friends. So let's bump that up to a healthy 4. Also, hello to humans. How are you doing? If this is your first time here, welcome. I do all sorts of things, and if you've been here many times before and I just can't actually see see you in my list, to verify, hi. Okay, so another thing we can think about is color. Do we want this colored? I've actually been on like a bit of a spree, maybe is the right way to call it, where like I just want things to be simple. Hello there, Foos Champ, who I believe is Nick. So tough to keep all these different names in my head. But hi, how you doing? How is your Sunday afternoon? Because I'm having a lovely day. Alright, so we know that we want this to be a container, and we also know we want that to be centered too, because why not? I mean, that kind of gives us some better alignment. Now, one thing is we know that we also added a two, I don't know what you would call this, like 2 unit padding on the left and right, so let's do that too. That way our body should line up with Mr. Barry, and presumably over on this side it'll line up too. One thing I can think about too is everyone likes underlined links. We've been trained on it since like, I don't know, like Netscape. So let's give the people what they want. There we go. That's not too bad. I can get along with that. It's nice, it's simple, it's clean. Man, I love a good clean web page. I don't know about you guys, but just like noise is noisy. Like look at this. Look how awful this is. At some point I was like, you know what, this is really great, and now I'm like, I hate everything about this. Oh, so bad. Okay. Anyway, so let's copy some stuff, and we're gonna add things temporarily to the body, and then we'll figure out how to like separate this out. So I'm gonna just like kind of add some white space in here, so we can, I don't know, do whatever. Oops, whatever we want with this. Let's go. There we go. There we go. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. You can trust me. All right. Oh, another 2 people have joined too. Hello, other 2 people. Alright, so bye, so hi, my name is blah 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 blah. So I think, you know, people, if they're coming to my website and they don't know who I am, having a nice picture and a little summary would be wonderful. So let's think about how we can do this with the smallest amount of JavaScript and styling. So my instinct, and I don't know if I like this, right? But it's like on the left side here, picture of me, and right side, we got some text. And the picture of me isn't like an ego thing, it's just like, you know, it's just, people are coming here. Hello, Soup Dizzle. Oh, you're new. I think. Sometimes I lose track of names, and I apologize if you've been here before. But welcome. Hope you enjoy. I'm gonna call it old school web development. Just like, you know, stripping out all that JavaScripty stuff. Oh, not so new. Well, that's what I like to hear. Got a returning member. Yeah, I'm so bad with like names on the internet. Yeah, I mean, build steps can be great, right? Like, especially when you have like really heavy JavaScript and you need to like have tests and linting and, you know, like all those things, but I don't know what exchange is going on, but I fully support building community in Twitch, and especially if we just call someone Soups. Alright, so we got like a paragraph here. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna go with my instinct on this, which I don't know what I think about it yet. But let's do some flexbox, a little bit on the left, a little bit on the right. Oh, yes. I understand. It might have been last week, to be honest. I don't think myself and a South African man did any mobbing. Oh, wait. Yes. Got him. I understand now. So I'm dense. I'm so dense. Oh man, you have no idea how hard it is for me not to work on that game. Like every day I'm like, oh man, I could add some stuff to this, and I could do something like crazy. Then I'm like, no, bad Alex. It's it's a struggle, man. Let's see, this is going to be a justify start. We want everything pushed to the left. And on top of that, I want the image to remain one size and the text to stretch. So do that, and then items start as well. I think like aligning to the top is going to be what we want here. By the way, I have this like really... Some people get confused by like justify and item alignment and flex. And this like, I have this like bizarre like rules in my head that I think mostly work, but like justifying things always has to do with spacing in between items. So if you're on a row, it's like where those spaces or how those worked. Whereas item alignment is like how those align against each other. So across a row, like their vertical alignment versus in a column, they're horizontal. So, by the way, if you're confused by that all the time, justify spacing and align items is like relative alignment to the other items. So there you go. That's the mystery solved. Mystery solved, gang. All right. So one thing is in my description here. So I've got like some stuff where I talk about like a bunch of things, right? I'm like, hey, I'm a software developer at vehicle. I probably want to link to vehicle there. And I you know, have my wife mentioned, my dog, so maybe having like a picture of my family could be nice too. For now, I'm going to stick with the main image that I have of me, which, is that in here? Get assets. Oh, there I am. Okay, well let's, we're going to make a copy of this outside of apps, and we're just going to call this source assets. Let's go with that. Assets is a pretty great word, by the way. I hope everyone appreciates how close it is just saying asses. Alright, so I have assets alexberry.jpg. So, for the time being, ooh, do assets alexberry.jpg, but without the E. So this will probably look reasonably awful. So obviously I don't need my picture to be this big, especially with text this small. So I'm going to do a couple things, whoa, including pressing a random button that opened up a file in another project. I don't know what I just pressed. Don't you just hate it in Vim when you bring in other people's packages and you just like lose concept of what keys do, and you just kind of like, you just roll with it. It's fun though, but can lead to a couple head scratchers. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is with my like summary of me, probably like bump up the font, bump up some like character spacing, make it like a more of like a hero element, right, where it's just like, oh, by the way, this is me, and then underneath be like, oh, and here's, you know, if you want to find me in places and go see things, you can click buttons. So let's go with text LG for now. Let's see where that puts us relatively. A little better, and I think LG might do some letter spacing by default as well. So let's just do a text size. Okay, font size. By the way, we need to have some talks with this Adam guy, because like some things are font, even here it's like font size when it's text. Come on, man, get it together. Get it together. Alright, so here it only talks about font size, so it doesn't mention anything about line spacing, which to me seems incorrect. But I'm more than willing to be wrong, you know? Like maybe I don't know. Anyway, so let's add some spacing here. Sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained. I've been keeping busy, you know? And now I got like 5 things on my brain and I'm just trying to write some code. So let's see. So for this, for the image, what's going to be a good way to do this? Actually, let's see if there's any image classes on here. Who knows? Let's see. Locking images to fixed aspect ratio. Well, that seems like a good thing. Oh, that's, is this like a, okay, I don't want a video tutorial. Well, let's see. Let's poke around some more cropping, positioning. Maybe if we just did like aspect. No. Maybe there's something in size. Well, we'll get there shortly. One thing we definitely want is margin to the right, and we were seeing that 4 was like kind of doing. I don't know, like it felt pretty good up here, doing like a 4. And that's not too bad. I can get behind that. Now, the one thing too is I kind of like having lines, but lines are noise. So let's skip that. Let's skip that. Never mind. Ignore me and my ramblings. Let's see. So we got some width stuff. These go up width auto. We got like 50%. Width 1/3 could be nice. I don't know. This already kind of feels like a 1/3. In fact, it feels like less than a 1/3, so I'm kind of curious if I, let's just do a little bit of hand bombing here. So if we do height auto, just to like keep aspect, do width 33%. Well, that certainly doesn't seem like a third, a third of this width at all. But I kind of like the size. I mean, it could probably get bumped up a little bit, but like certainly not like 66%. Even that, like, I sort of don't know what it's what the relative with this here. So let's because we're doing a percentage, I can just do a W full up here, so it gives 100% of the section. There's maybe a possibility that that this flex box isn't really aware of the full width for reasons. Yeah, okay. There we go. That seems more sane. Oh, wait, no, that reset things. Let's do width 33% again. 66%. I don't know. That seems strange. Unless, like, for some reason, which is maybe possible, Is it like doing like 50% of the original size of the image? Let's just check. So we do mdn css image width percentage. This seems like a really really specific CSS thing. But I've never known CSS to be like that, so this is a little strange. And now I'm just curious. Oh, you know what it probably is let's change this to a div just so I have like more defined behavior from it. Let's do a flex grow on here, and let's just do a width 1/3 on there, just so you know, we have something consistent when we refresh here. Okay, so my assumption was that maybe like just because of flex it was behaving strangely, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So if I look here, it says that the total width that I have is 1,264. So if we do 1264 divided by 3, 421. Oh, that's so close to 420. But if we go here, it says that my width is 184. So this is 4 times smaller than what I expected to be. So that's weird. And it is display blocks, so geez, this is really strange. I've never actually seen Flexbox behave like this. So let's just see if there's maybe. Now, one option too is I could just go by like rems. Like I can get behind that. So it's like those should scale, I think. So let's do let's go with like 56. We'll do H auto just to you know, for aspect ratio stuff. Refresh that, and that's even that's even smaller. Oh my goodness. I feel like I've entered the twilight zone of CSS. Like, what is what's going on? Like, like, am I crazy? W-64 as a class on an image. So maybe like something about the image isn't accepting it. So let's do a div wrapper around this and do a class W64, and we're gonna do border. I think we can just say border and then like border gray 500. Sure. You know what? Let's go with that. So basically, what I want to see is like I want to see what W64 is on a div versus an image. Because here we can see what it is on the image, right? So if I refresh, I mean, it certainly seems to still be like constrained the way I thought. So if I do 1/3, which I believe is the correct class name, W1 divided by 3. And refresh that. And this seems to be behaving in ways I don't expect. So I'm going to temporarily remove the image. So I just want to know what the heck is going on. So that's apparently a 1/3, but again, like, that doesn't look like a 1/3 to me. Like, unless I'm crazy, and maybe I am. So let's see. So this reports as a full width of 1264 again, and this reports as 187. Don't make no sense. 33% with the parent width is like fixed and known. I don't know. Do I just go with like pixel values at this point? Do I like forsake this width and just do like a style width for 420, which is so great that ends up being on this size, technically a 1/3. What? Okay, so I know I'm entering into madness. I know something's going on, because this is not 420 pixels. So, something about this isn't working. Let's see. So let's get rid of flex for right now. So I think we can just delete this and everything else will just kind of like sort of go away. And now that is 420 pixels. So that is 1/3 of that. So that makes sense. So let's do maybe there's something in here about like unflexing another item. Yeah, I mean like there's a line self, but I don't know if that's really what I want. And like maybe I switched to grid. Yeah, this the 1/3 isn't working, but it seems to have something to do with like flex being applied on the parent. So for instance, if we do, so we did the math, we know it's about like 420. It's actually 421 pixels. So that's weird. But so if we say width 1/3, we'll go back through this again. So looking at the full width here, it's probably tough to read, but it says it's 1264 pixels wide for the container. And then this div that I put in there, which eventually will just be this image, is set to 33%. So that all looks pretty sane. But it is 187 pixels, which seems very wrong. But getting rid of flex, it like fixes it, but that seems wrong. Right, like display flex. So if you have an item in a flex box and you haven't specified that it's flex, then like it shouldn't be conforming to flex. Now there is flex none, so we could like set an item to like ignore flex, and maybe that's what I have to do. But I'm pretty sure I've done this without doing a flex none. So I'm like confused, but yeah, there we go. So now it's like taking up that full thing. Yeah, I think we're good now. It's certainly still puzzling, but you know, it works. All right, so let's change this to our image with source. Going to assets. alexberry.jpg, and let's get rid of all that silliness, and we can probably do a margin right of 4, which is what we had before. Cool. Now one thing I don't like is initially on loading in, it's just like right in your face, so that probably means that I just want to like trim this image down. There's no point in having like a huge image if it's being displayed at this size. Now this text still seems kind of small. So let's see. I mean, there's certainly like the XL range. Or we can do like, yeah. Let's kind of keep bumping it up until we get to like a size that makes sense. Oh, also I think it's 2XL, not XL2. That's not too bad. I mean, that's it. So, I don't know, I can roll with that. So let's turn vehicle into a link, of course. Let's also, I would love someone else's opinion on this. So in terms of saying like I'm a senior software developer, like I get that it's like you're marketing yourself, but I've got really mixed feelings about like just saying I'm a software developer versus a senior software developer. Like it almost feels like there's like you're like, hey, look at me, I'm senior. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Is it good? Egotistical? What do you think? Well, I thought for software engineer, like there's like a distinction between like the developer and engineer. Like engineers, like you went through engineering school to be a developer, whereas developer is just like you develop it. Yeah. Plus engineer, like engineer feels so much more snobby than developer too. It's pretty great though. Do you call yourself a software engineer or developer? I've caught myself calling myself an engineer, and then I'm like, but like, am I? Like, there's certainly like that. I'm gonna call it like fellowship, but I don't think that's the right word. Where like in Canada, like it's a special thing to graduate as an engineer. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Yeah, yeah. Well, let's I don't know. Let's we'll just roll as senior software developer for now. I think that's fine. At some point, I maybe want to reevaluate that, but I don't know. Senior keyboard user. Senior guy that like sits around at vehicle. Senior Googler. Yeah. But yeah, so let's see. Does this? I bet this probably doesn't scale super well. Ugh. Yuck. Okay. So I think this is flex row on small devices and up, and otherwise. Actually, I wonder if do I just hide the picture once it gets small enough? Like, you don't need to know what I look like. That if people are visiting my page on a cell phone, they're like, you know, bandwidth is expensive, and I think if you do hidden, I think most browsers are smart enough to like not load the image in. So let's do hidden SM block. Go, and then if I just scale it down, now it's just like, hi, I'm blah 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 blah. And another thing too is, so this particular section is it just feels cramped near the top. So let's do like a I'm always like, when it comes to these things for spacing, I'm always curious of like padding it versus margin is the right thing, but I think we want margin. So let's go with like margin 12. Let's give it a lot of space. It's better. I mean, it feels like it needs like more space still, but I don't think I can go up much higher for margins. Oh, I can. Okay, let's go with like 48. Wait, no, Colin DeCarlo's age, 48. He might actually be 48. Colin, if you ever watch this, I love you in the way that a fellow developer man can love another one. And you could take that however you want. Colin DeCarlo, what a guy. And that almost feels like too much space. Maybe if I have like almost like a card outline on there. Let's see. What's the worst that can happen? So let's do like a px2 py4. Actually, we can do pt2 pb4 shadow lg. I don't know, I just feel like sometimes you're just kind of like going for it. Okay, so that looks awful because of the image. I don't like that at all. That was a bad decision. Ugh. Ugh. The more I look at it, the more I hate it. Well, you know, sometimes you learn your lessons, right? Let's get rid of that shadow. Let's get rid of that padding. Let's go back to what we know works. I can get behind that. Now, I wouldn't mind even having like some smaller images here of like my wife, or picture of the dogs, because people love pictures of dogs. But then on top of that, then I end up doing like more of like a hidden and on small show. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll avoid it for now, and then we'll circle back. All right. So let's add some class attributes to our link to vehicle at least. So I think we're gonna go with underline, and maybe bold. I don't know. Like bold, I want like more so bold like the vehicle part, and not necessarily. I'm a software engineer. Now I can bold obviously vehicle separately. Maybe I'll do that. I feel better doing that than just being like, respect my position or something. I really don't want that. So let's go with strong. There's probably some better like semantic tags you can do as well, but strong feels like a good one. I mean, it looks a little strange now that there's like the underline of everything, but by the way, like vehicle. So I don't know. And like just bold like some names and people. In fact, I can link to my wife's website. So let's do that too. And she can just get bold, We can do that. And we're going to do some classes in here. So we're going to say underline and font bold. Nice. Okay. So at least like there's like a general feeling that things that are underlined are typically clickable. I feel pretty good about that. That seems like real stuff. Yeah. Okay. So now we got that. That feels like we got that first chunk done. So this really feels like this is part of I'm gonna say like the index page. All right, like this chunk here would certainly exist there. So let's just like go back 3, and we know that we have the navigation. That's going to be like in the main layout here. So let's see. Let's do navigation. Clear that out. Let's clear out that body as well. And let's see, so how do we want to compile this? Like, I like the pattern of just like build up a like a public folder. So let's do that. And let's see, maybe we have to make a build script. Let's see how that goes. So let's call this like we'll just call it HTML.js. It's we're building HTML. That's fine. And I think we're going to import promises as fs from fs. So we're going to be in node land here, and this is just going to be a really basic script to just like slap a bunch of these HTML templates together. So we'll just have to know about them all. So that this may or may not become great. I don't know. Maybe we look into a templating thing. Maybe this is a good time to do it. So let's do JavaScript, Node.js, HTML template. So some that come to mind immediately are like EJS and Slim. I've used Slim a lot, but not really as like a templating engine as much as like just like HTML replacement. Right? Like I haven't done like includes and layouts the way that maybe I'm doing here, so maybe this makes sense. Let's check out you know what? Yeah, let's do Slim, which I don't think is called Slim anymore. I think it's called Jade. And what was interesting is now there's like so it's like hey, this is SLM, Slim, Jade-like template, but like, Slim became Jade, and now there's this. But now they're saying like it was Hamel to Jade to Slim. I don't know about that. I do like this though. Yeah. Okay, let's roll with that. I sort of like. I like in general Jade, like it's pretty clean. You're only like focusing on like things, but it's also indent based. Ugh. What about this? Is this like any better or worse? Not really. Now indenting's fine, I guess. It's just a thing. Also, whew, my mustache is getting unruly, so now it's like if I talk for quite a bit, it just gets all in there. Ugh. Gotta trim that baby. Okay, so I'm gonna roll with Jade because I don't know what this like SLM is, and like only 193 people on GitHub seem to know or care. Now I'm curious, can I get like let's do like GitHub Jade JS. I don't remember this being a decent. Oh, this is what I want. I want Pug. Oh man, there we go. That's better. There we go. So influenced by Hamel, and I thought there was something here. Yeah, there we go. So rename from Jade. Jeez, JavaScript is confusing. But okay, so I don't really need anything too special about this or for this. But one thing I do want to understand is, like combining files, like making a layout and doing all that. But I don't want API. I want like I don't want test drive. I sort of want like the documentation sort of after. Oh, there we go. Well, no, this kind of looks like the JavaScript thing. Let's do. Oh, here we go. And this is what I want. Inheritance and extends. We've got like a layout.pug. Okay. You know what? We're gonna roll with it. Let's see. Let's see where this takes us. Now this is like getting into the point where it's like, oh, do I just bring in Gatsby? I don't know yet though. And I've always been more of a like kind of like do it yourself until it's a bad idea. Let's bring in Pug. Cool. So let's ignore that for now. Let's do import. I'm guessing I do like Pug from Pug. I don't want. Let's just go to getting started. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, okay. So install Pug, and then click on the thing by accident and go to a different page. All right. So there's like pug.compile, and we can like load up a specific Pug file. Okay. So I think we're gonna need like path from path, and I think we also want like const root. Path is going to be like path resolve. So basically what I want to do is make it easy for me to just like add in new files and just like kind of map this file compiles to this file in my public folder. That's going to be like best case scenario, so we'll see. So we're going to say from here we're in the bin directory, so we go back one and that gets us to root, and then we're going to say our source directory. So source path is going to be path.join because we don't have to do any extra work for this. Also, it's 3:14. That's pi time. I'm so sorry. Alright, so we're going to go into our source directory, and inside source we've got all sorts of things, including components, layouts, and pages. So our layout, we're gonna turn this into main.pug. Now, I believe I've got like, I think I have a plugin in Vim for Pug, I think. So I guess we'll see how good or bad this ends up. So here we're gonna like look here. We've got like HTML head. So let's do this. I think we need to put this in brackets if we want to add attributes. And now we're inside a head. And inside head, we're gonna do the typical stuff. I don't know if maybe Pug will kind of build some of these out by default, but I would rather just kind of do them myself, and then I know that they work the way I expect them to. Just a little bit of effort, that's all. This one actually gets a little easier though, so that's nice. And I'm definitely not getting a syntax highlighting, so that's a good sign that we don't have a plugin. So let's just do a nvim pug template. Vim pug. Yeah, this seems like something that I have. Let's sorry, we're gonna go on a small tangent. So we're gonna go into my dot files, and I got some changes in here, which I should probably push up then. Let's go into Vim, we're going to go to plugins, and we're going to go into languages. This seems like a language. And I don't see anything involving Pug. So let's see, we got like some JavaScript stuff here, some Markdown stuff here, HTML5, and the close tag. So let's, I think we put it in here. Let's go with that. And this is unforked. So let's go digital toad / vim pug, and this is for Pug files. Cool. Now another thing here is this I would like to add for Pug as well. So Pug, you can put raw HTML in there. So what I'd like to do is just ensure that you know, we get all the nice things possible for this. Let's close this. We're going to do nvim. Oh Jesus, this might be a bad time. Let's see. So we're going to do a plug install, plug update, plug clean, and go. So this might do you know, a couple things, because you know, sometimes fixing your editor live is just how it is. Let's see, does this have any other instructions? If you don't want to use pathogen, you can use vim plug, which is what I'm doing, by copying each directory to your .vim directory. Nope, that's not at all what you need to do. You can just use git. So wow, look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Yep. Does anyone have any Sunday plans? I mean, other than for some reason watching me code? Oh, look at us go. Oh boy. Oh, that's the future right there. This is alright, you guys aren't ready for this, I can tell. But be prepared to have your mind destroyed. Okay, so there's absolutely no syntax highlighting at all. And that seems wrong. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attempt to get the rest of this code like mostly you know, like mostly looking like Pug, and maybe there's just a thing that isn't working quite yet. So let's see. We're gonna double check. So when we do inheritance, so there's we can say block content. We put some defaults in there. Then include pet for extends layout, for sub layout. Oh, this is a subload. So this one just says block content. Okay, so we can say inside here, this is going to be block body. Now we don't need any of that. And we shouldn't need that. Yeah, this certainly seems like a .pug file. Now, let's see, was there any instructions? So, I prefer to use Tim Pope Sing. By the way, Tim Pope, one thing I love about that guy is his, like, Twitter profile pictures. It's just, he's, yeah. I don't even know what to say about it. Okay, so Vim syntax highlighting for Pug, formerly Jade templates. For best results, consider using this with an improved HTML5 syntax plugin. Okay, so felt like I did that. I felt pretty good about it. So I'm gonna try one more thing, which involves me just actually we could do a check health. Let's just see if we see anything that's like, oh, this thing doesn't work. You know, sometimes these things happen. I got some like clipboard stuff. We got like a couple things in here. Yeah, I mean, all that looks pretty good. So what would be? Sorry, I know I'm like kind of going off the rails here. But now I'm just like curious, you know, like I want to know why it's not working the way I expect. Now, my initial instinct would also be like, if I got rid of this for Pug. Alright, so if we just get rid of those, roll with that, and then just do an nvim plus plug update plus q. Actually, we could do a plug upgrade as well. That'll just update my plugin thing too. Alright, cool. So, oh, I left a tab open for that already, so let's just close one of those then. We're gonna give this one more shot. I feel good about it, but I don't want to spend any more time on it. It's just nice to have highlighting if we can get it. Not happening, so we're just gonna roll with it. I mean, here they're like, you know, install Vim plug in the normal manner by copying each directory to your Vim directory. Make sure to not overwrite any existing thing. I don't know. That seems. What's the job? Oh, there's a different one? Is this one a fork? Is this newer? How old is this? Oh, not very old. Okay, well, you know, we tried. Let's, you know, just one more thing. I just need to double check that I like even typed it in right. Because sometimes, you know, you just get excited and you're like, I know how to type. And you just like put something in here, like a capital L in your Vim plug, you know? Plug install. There we go. I'm surprised it let me get as far as I did though, because normally, you know, when you've got something wrong in your Vim syntax, it's just like, hey man, you can't do that, and not like, oh, this is fine right now. Hey, look at that, syntax highlighting. It's beautiful. I hope you all appreciate the syntax highlighting and the effort it took to get us here. Okay, so one thing we know is our index file is definitely a Pug file now. So we got that. And on top of that, we want to do some the old extends, and it looks like it kind of works similar to like Blade and Laravel, so hopefully that won't be too bad. So let's just say we're going to go to layouts and main dot pug. Let's go with that. And let's just make this more more puggy. We're here, we can do it. Oh man, Tailwind gets a little verbose in here though. I don't know if I like that. Alright, so let's grab all this. And we're just gonna gonna like put in those dots. And we got this like whole source thing, so let's dump that into the attributes thing. Oh, has anyone used Pug before? I used to use Jade a lot, and you know, that was okay. Oh, I think this needs to be an equal sign. But maybe not. What's the difference between doing something equals versus not that, like p nothing? Alright, anyway, so we need to make this text just plain text, so I think we can do a pipe. Yeah, there we go. So over here, we're going to just grab all these lines and pipe them. And we don't need any of that. Okay, so now unfortunately we get to the point where we have like a build step again. Mixed feelings on that, but it could be worse. Now, also, I thought there was a shortcut for doc type where you could just do like a triple bang. It looks like we can just do the simple like doc type HTML, so let's go with that. Alright, then navigation, this is going to be like includes. So we got includes here. Oh no, just include. Then we do components, navigation.html. Yeah, let's go with that. And then we know this, we want to like, I guess we can specify what goes in the block. So we have block content here, and then here we just kind of like put it in there like that. So let's do block. This is body for us. Nest it in there, and let's give it a shot. So if we in our bin here, so let's just I guess make a mapping, right? So we're gonna say const pages, so we know you know, let's make it an array. This should be a big deal, and we're gonna say source is going to be pages / index.pug, and we know that should go to public index.html. That feels pretty good. So we're just going to do pages for each. Actually, we could just nest it, or not nest it. We could go straight off this pages array, but maybe we'll do it separate for now, so it's a little easier. And we know we're going to get a source and a dest. And let's see, so I think there's like pug.compile. But maybe not. See, I want to now look at language reference now. I want to do, oh, there you go. So we got a compile file. Oh, then we just need to dump it somewhere manually. So we're going to just do import promises as fs from fs. So if you don't know, normally you do like import fs from fs, and that's fine, but those are like the callback versions. So there's also an export of promises, which are everything that goes or comes from the like main fs export, but instead of callbacks it uses promises. So that'll make our lives a little easier. So in this case, we're actually going to change this to a map, and we're going to do a promise all. There we go. Oh yeah, and we don't need that because we're doing our map. Oops. So do that, and then just when we're done, we can say something like pages built, and if there's some sort of error, console error, unable to build pages, and then just dump it. That's good enough. It's good enough. I mean, this is just my own build script. I don't really care about this being easily readable for other humans. Alright, so each of these we're going to get like output. Actually, no, I guess this would be HTML. It's going to be that. And here we're going to do like return fs.write file. And we're going to do a path. So this will be path join source path. Actually, this won't be source path at all. Let's do a const public path. It's going to be path.join root path public. Make our lives easier. And this is going to be public path and then index. No, this be dest. So in that case, we don't need to specify public, which makes our lives easier. And here, like we know we're only going to be compiling pages, so let's even make this a little better. So this would be compile file. This would be path.join source path pages src. So we write the file. So we get the path it goes, and then our data. So in this case, it's going to be HTML, and we know that it's going to be UTF-8 because we don't need to write binary. Cool. So now that we got that, let's wire that up to a script. So we're going to just call this like build HTML for now, because we're going to probably nuke most of this. So that's going to be a node. And we're going to bring in ESM so we get all the import stuff without having to haul in Babel, because that's a big deal. And we're just going to say bin html.js. Save that. And let's try a yarn build html. Bow, bow, bow. Okay, so apparently I don't know how to write code sometimes. You know, like people just hire me sometimes, and I'm just like, are you sure you even want to do that? Like, okay, so we got this map, and okay, so we're just not closing off the promise properly. There we go. Come on, big money. Oh. So let's see, unexpected token filter, expected text, code, colon. Okay, so I mean, that's cool and all. Oh, I see. It's because I inlined some stuff in here. So let's I'm a anchor href with some classes, which is just dot underline, so that makes things easy. Underline and I'm already starting to think that, like, man, did I just like talk about stripping out complexity, and now I got all this stuff going on here. Okay, so I think that'll fix that problem. Oh geez, what do we got now? So we got some weird filter thing going on. Unexpected token filter. That is specifically here. Oh, you know what? It doesn't like the Alright, did I code myself into a corner already? Well, you know what? I can add a class tag as well and just deal with like the classes that are like non-standard. I know that we're gonna run into that again, so it's a little disheartening. It's still failing? Oh my goodness. It doesn't like that I did like title with a equals in there as well. Okay, well, you know, sometimes you gotta learn the hard way. So let's get rid of that equals, because I don't think their documentation's clear about when you should be using that anyway. Oh, there we go. Page is built. What do you know? Now, if we were to open up, so instead of all that, let's do public index.html. Oh no. Oh, this makes a compiled function, and then you can pass things to it. Which in this case, I'm not passing anything. So okay. So we'll call this like a view, and we know our view, we're just not going to pass anything to it. Alright, let's do props here, and it's just going to be empty in this case, and then we'll do that. Let's give that a shot. Cool. Now if we refresh this, this should look similar to the page that we started with. Alright, so picture me doesn't work. But maybe that's expected because there's no affinity to this image in our build process yet. But I mean, we've got a lot of this working. Alright, so I bet if we just look at components and we turn this into a pug. And go here, and the include should be pug. Yeah, but we can fix this one up pretty easy. I wonder if there's any like if Pug is even aware of like Tailwind and how it uses colons, and maybe they need to like handle that. I mean, I'm sure they might be aware, but maybe that'll be a good bug to post to them. And actually here, so I think it defaults to divs, so we can just do a flex grow, and that'll take care of that for us. These are going to be mostly the same with py 2s, and also underline. No, why can't I see the underline there? I thought we fixed that. But no matter. It must be that I fixed it and then I never brought it back. Then I deleted the original code there. No biggie. We'll make this look nice and shiny. Alright, so let's give that another build. Certainly better. I think we had a .ml4. Obviously we'll put like a watcher on this, but then it's like, ugh, kind of gross. But maybe that's just going to be the beast with this, with doing things, because like the podcast one is really simple. There's like 2 components, and I just like hand bomb these things together. But now we're getting into like layouts. Maybe it makes sense that this is a little more complicated. But obviously we need to add in a little bit of spacing in the main page as well. Let's go here, and I think we might be able to just do something like that and that. Yeah, there we go. Well, it's kind of doing the spacing the way I expect. Now what's interesting is we can inline HTML, so I didn't have to do all this extra complexity. But you know, maybe if I'm going in a little bit, you might as well go in all the way. That's my life logo chant. Don't be like me. And this is the point where I realize that I probably shouldn't talk anymore. Cool. So that's not too bad. That looks like we're mostly back where we should be. So like my brain's like kind of peaking, I think. So I might I don't know. I might be done. I don't know. Was this entertaining? Did you guys get anything out of this? I'm hoping it was like kind of a thing, you know. Again, I thought this would be more of an exercise in simplicity, and then like as soon as you bring in some other tools or you want to like build in like a layout, all of a sudden things get a lot more complicated. So maybe that was the point of it, you know. That wasn't my intention, but certainly at the end I was kind of like, oh man, I can't believe I brought this in because now I have to do like this and this and this. Like this on its own isn't bad. Like even my other page, there is a build, but it was just like my own thing. And now I'm pretty sure if I look in like node modules, like if we do what is it, df-h node, is it df? Oh, maybe it's dh? No. Anyway, there's a command. Oh, it's du. There we go. du-h node modules. Actually, if we just do a dot, that'll show us how big node modules is. Among everything in it as well. Jeez, I didn't think it nested by default, so that sort of sucks. But as you can see, there's a lot of things in there now that I'm not particularly keen on them being in there. Oh, that's that one. Can I do a clear and add a couple things there? Just du dot. Okay, so 222 megabytes. There's a lot of things now. And I don't know that I like it. Like there's a router in there. Like why is there even a router? Like what is that? If I look at npm.js router, yeah, like a middle. Why does that exist? I'm not using anything that involves express. There's like YR. I could see that though because there's probably some command line tools with pug I come in. Ugh. Why didn't anyone stop me when I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna bring in pug? No, this is on me. I'm just teasing. But man, this is just, it is so much. Why did I do this to my, oh, and there's even like Babel. Like why is there Babel in here? I'm not using Babel, I'm using ESM. There's, oh, you know what? It's because we still have like all this other junk in here too. So if I let's just for the sake of my own amusement, I'll revert this. So let's first do like a git add bin and src. I'm gonna say git commit start down the pug templating path and simplifying design. Oh, did I just add things individually? Oh, I sure did. Oh geez, there we go. So do no edit there. And now if we were to get rid of all the things that we're not going to use, we might use it, but still, I don't know. We're going to use Firebase tools, we're not going to use that, not going to use that, not going to use that. We're going to use a CDN for that, so we're not going to use that. I think we're going to, actually no, I need these for that one dev page. But these should all be pretty lightweight. So if we do rnrf modules, so basically all we have is pug, ESM, Firebase, and some hyperapp stuff. So if we do a yarn install, geez, still a lot of packages. Oh, let's not do it by Let's do that. And let's just check out du-h again. And certainly there's a lot of git history here. Node modules. Now we're down by about half, but there's still a lot of things in here, right? Like retry requests. Like, why do we have something that's doing any sort of fetching? I mean, these things. Oh, you know what? Maybe Firebase tools. Red Eye. I don't know what that is. Is your code too fast or too readable? What? Alright, well, make sure that you have to stay up all night to decipher the mess that is your code base on CoffeeScript. Okay, so I think there's a good possibility that Pug uses CoffeeScript still, which is actually, when I was using it, I was also using CoffeeScript and doing like all this white space stuff. I mean, that's weird that that's in here, but, you know, whatever. There's no CoffeeScript though, so that's interesting. And then there's still the router in here, which does not belong. What else do we have? So there's so much. Jeez. And obviously we got lots of Google stuff. What is Google Gax though? I don't know. I don't trust anyone to install things on my computer, right? Like, even when you're bringing this stuff in. So now it's like, now everything that's in here, I'm like hesitant about what it does. Alright. So in this, like, this is obviously for Firebase and like interacting with the Google API. But even so, it's like, got Morgan. So does Pug have like a built-in dev server? Like that's the only thing I can think of at this point as to like why I would have some of these things in here. But I mean, I don't see anything in the documentation that talks about that, like even here with reference. So we got like Pug render, Pug compile, file, compile client, compiles a Pug template to a string of JavaScript which can be used client side. Ugh. Pug render options. Jeez. Oh, there's a render file though instead of compile file. So I guess that was actually what I wanted instead of compile. But I mean, that's fine. Huh. Anyway, so that was my stream. I had fun. I hope you guys had fun watching me struggle through code, doing all that stuff. I've been lessening my streaming frequency too, so I've been no, let's do this. So I've been going every 2 weeks, and that's just to make sure I have time for family and doing fun stuff. Because sometimes I get wrapped up in programming, and it becomes a thing where it's like, oh yeah, when's the last time I like played with my dogs and stuff. So I've been doing that just to ensure that I have like dedicated time where I can be like, yeah, I did that. So next week I won't be streaming, but the week after I will be, which will either be Sunday or Saturday. We'll see. But certainly in the afternoon, I think that's kind of my best time frame. Probably we might be working on this more. We might go back into like some fun game stuff. But I wanted to take an opportunity to like start looking at my website and just having like a battle plan to keep it maintainable, but maybe make it not look like this mess and try and make it look like this mess, or at least like not a mess, right? Like just nice stuff. So anyway, you're all great. If you like my stuff and you want to support me financially, which you don't have to, don't feel obligated. I've got I got Patreon and I've got GitHub, and you can do one of those two links, QR code. Cool. And you can go to my website, mrberry.com. Right now it looks a lot more like this, right? But in the future it's going to look a lot more like this, but with working images. It's going to be great. You can also catch me on Twitter. You know, I'm there. You can chat with me. You can ask me questions. You You can follow my various tweets, which range from things about my faith to software. It's actually really just those two things. It's one or the other. And then I think sometimes people say like, subscribe, follow, thumbs up. What else do you do on social? All the things that you do on social media, do those things. You've all been great. Thanks for joining, and I will see you in 2 weeks, unless I work with you, in which case I'll probably see you sometime this week. Bye.